Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You're watching StarLadder Star Series. It is day 16. We're in Season 8 and we are watching our 5th game of the day, which also means that we're going to watch our last game of the day. We're seeing Power Rangers taking on Mousesports. I am once again joined by a duo. I was going to say duo of 2, but I guess that doesn't make very much sense. So we've got ourselves our Statsman Nahaz, and we are also joined by my co-caster, VIII. Welcome back.
That always makes sense. A duo is always 2. You get away with it. It's fine.
It's too much. Like, it's just overkill.
Oh yeah, it sounds dumb as hell, but you know, it makes sense technically. Sort of.
I guess.
Not really.
Well, I guess, yeah. In a way, you're right. We're gonna see ourselves the Bristle and the Slark band out, so I like those. Elder Titan and OD as well. It leaves for a first pick Crystal Maiden. How about that?
Yeah, all of the big supports that we've been used to seeing sort of rotate between teams and allowed through the... Okay, this is something... Me and Vikramon saw this, and this was the most next level thing we've ever seen be done with Rubik from Mousesports. They actually picked it up, I think, because there was an Elder Titan on the other team, but basically this... Rubik is going to be jungling.
Yes.
He's going to be like straight jungling.
So he's going to pull up creeps on the high
is,
ground, right?
Yeah, he's going to be doing that. And the reason you do this is because it's really, really good to get that aura up. And Rubik can get a ton of levels doing this. He was doing this the other day, and he was basically pulling the creeps through 3 different camps when he did do the pull. So he's getting a ton of XP from this.
Yeah, we have actually seen that before, but picking it up first is interesting. I mean, it's kind of something that we don't see every day again. Power Rangers might have done their homework, might have otherwise banned it out, and I guess they didn't want to take the risk, but it's an interesting pick regardless in terms of which order they pick it in. The Doom picked up by Power Rangers. Now, I was kind of hoping that it was going to be an Earthshaker, because perhaps Mousesports saw that previous game and were thinking, you know what, we don't want to see that Earthshaker anymore. But the Doom is already something different that they didn't do previous games, so I guess we're going to have a fully different game with no Venomance or solo mid. Doom for Power Rangers has mostly been played by Cheshire Cat, I believe. Offlane Doom. Or Jungle Doom, I guess.
Yeah, generally an offlane Doom kind of struggles so much in the lane, you just send him to the jungle. Maybe he'll go there now and again. But both teams are going relatively stable here. I'm confused over the Doom pick, to be honest, because right now there's no major Doom targets. You know, there's nothing like a Weaver or something like that you really need to Doom. Perhaps the Rubik in the Nature's Prophet. I mean, maybe it's just part of Power Rangers' game plan. I think we'll have to see a few more of their heroes to really understand why they wanted to pick up a Doom so early. Yeah,
you're right. It's the same kind of why you wouldn't see the Rubik picked up early. Interesting though that Alchemist just gets completely ignored. He'll get banned out because of it. Same thing goes for Pugna, also a hero that we often see earlier on. Clockwork removed, fair enough. That's a decent hero for the second benefit stage. But yeah, it's odd timings. I also think that because of these unorthodox orders for picks, they are trying to throw each other a bit off guard. So, not really knowing what the other team is going to do. And I mean, that's right. We've seen Rubik as a normal support. We've seen him in the jungle with support. We've seen Nature's Prophet in the jungle. We've seen him on the offlane. I guess Mousesports is the more traditional one. Doom is the one that is going to be having the more roles, as we've seen him on the offlane and in the jungle. And Crystal Maiden as a support is not really going to be surprising, but can be on the aggressive tri lane, can be on a safe tri lane. With Rubik, you kind of need to be having a safe lane there. And he's not the greatest on an aggressive tri lane for sure.
Yeah, and that might be a smart way to go with things. They could put the Doom perhaps solo safe lane. He can even go in the mid, but I think if they put the Doom solo safe lane and then run aggressive with the side of Power Rangers, that could be really, really strong for them. And Doom doesn't do too badly versus the Nature's Prophet as well, because Prophet, obviously, he can't really nuke down Doom, and Doom's got pretty good regen, especially with the Scorched Earth, so... yeah, that'll be a relatively interesting laning stage. We don't really know too much, though. Like you said, they both left out both Pugna and Alchemist. I think this is something that, I mean, you would kind of expect teams to pick up Pugna if they can, because the hero is so powerful at taking down towers especially, and very good in pitch fights. But both of these teams have been really fighting with maneuverable, with aggressive lineups, with sort of very, very fast rotators and such, so... I think that's why they're opting for different heroes outside of the Pugner, who's more of a pusher.
Yeah. I like talking about mobility and all that. I mean, both the Weaver and the Wind Ranger offer a lot of mobility to the team. A lot of Disable coming out from Mousesports, but now also the Dragonite picked up. That means that they have revealed hereby their mid-hero, assuming that it's going to be the Dragonite. Meaning Power Rangers have a bit of an easier time to decide in their matchup, and they actually still have the time to pick up a Crystal or a Venomancer as their mid. And they could actually still pick up the Earthshaker as well. I'm saying it really soft because I'm kind of just hoping that they will pick it up. But, you know, the option is... Never mind.
No. What you need to do is you need to say it less softly. You need to be really forceful.
Damn it,
to kind of make sure they can hear you. Like, that's the sort of level you need to be like, Earthshaker, now! And then maybe they'll go for it.
Oh,
I hope so, because it's just so exciting.
But now
they can still do it.
But then the Baden would go mid. They could.
Nah, Baden aggressive trialing. I'm sure it's terrible, but it's fine.
Well, Queen of Pain is the last ban. Smart ban. That kind of proves that they did see that previous game, of course. And Queen of Pain against the Dragonite is just a fairly strong hero. We still have a Puck in the pool though, and he also does okay up against the Dragonite. Puck has kind of had a bit of a tough time. We haven't seen Puck in a while, mostly because his mid matchups haven't been that successful, and he just does need quite a lot before he can start rotating. And there's just a lot of different heroes that you can rotate with earlier. So we'll see. I actually wouldn't mind seeing something like a Nightstalker or something mid, because Dragonite, you can put almost anything up against that hero in mid, and you'll still be able to farm.
Yeah, Dragonite's one of those heroes who doesn't win any matchup, he doesn't lose any matchup really either. Queen of Pain, a few other really harass-heavy matchups do very well against him, but otherwise, he always gets what he needs. And like you were saying, Puck's one of the options, but the problem with Puck that we've seen recently, it's happened more and more to the hero, is the thing with Puck is there's one early item build, yeah? You get Treads, well, some people like Phase, but they're crazy people.
Boots.
You get Treads, you get your bottle, and then you get Blink. There's no other options. You have to go Blink. It's a 2k item. It's not easy to farm up, and if she gets ganked, nope. Back down to all the money that you used to not have.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he doesn't need that much shutdown to be actually shut down, because without the Blink Dagger, it just doesn't have the same potential. Mousesports are going to pick up that Clinks. So this could be a safe lane Clinks, Dragonite mid with a trialing with the Rubik, well, Wind Ranger offlane, Nature's Prophet jungle together with the Rubik. I mean, they can go very greedy with this. Wind Ranger is, I'm assuming, gonna be a support, which is the most logical one, with maybe just safe trialing with the Clinks, but I don't really like Clinks and on safe trialing, so I hope that they're gonna be able to go greedy with this. It's a possibility.
They maybe could go greedy, because right now, Power Rangers doesn't really have much that they can use to actually punish greed. Maybe if they pick up another hero, they could of course do the dual lane with Weaver or Baden, but I think teams have started to figure out how to deal with that a little bit better. It's not been as successful recently. It'll be interesting to see what they pick up now. If they pick up another solo hero, then this could be a very, very aggressive lineup from Power Rangers. They could go Weaver or Baden CM.
They could. Just aggressive trialing that. They could dual lane this as well. Doom on the safe lane, Weaver and Abaddon on the off lane. Crystal Maiden in the jungle.
Crystal Maiden could even go dual lane mid. Maybe we could see CK. Crystal Maiden's pretty good dual lane mid. It's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen the CK. Like, without the Wisp, that is. Have we? Like,
yeah,
I haven't
think I
seen
saw
the
him
CK without the Wisp in ages.
I've seen him with AA earlier today. Yes. I was watching games early in this morning. Okay. But otherwise not in StarLadder. I haven't seen any of that really in StarLadder.
Was it in G League then?
I think it was in G League.
Cool. I missed that one. Was it probably the earliest one? Wow. Okay.
Greed.
Invoker, ZXC Invoker. It's actually quite fun to watch. So I'm happy with that one. It's gonna be, of course, one of those heroes that does okay up against a DK, because what doesn't do okay up against a DK? But, ooh, I like this HUD skin. But let's take
Which one are you putting on?
I
want to know.
It's called? It's the Tidehunter one. The Deepest Depths. Why?
I want to put it on.
What?
I just have a normal HUD skin normally, because when I play, I find it really distracting to have a really cool HUD on.
But this is not this one is not distracting. That's the thing. This
Yeah,
one is
I actually
good.
kind of like this wooded one. I really like the wooded one because it's kind of understated.
You mean the
and,
dim
like,
forest or the stronghold?
Yeah, that one.
Because I don't
The
like
dim
dim
forest.
forest. Because it has a stupid
Really?
beaver and a TV on it from WePlay. I don't know.
Why does it have a DP? Well, how does that make any sense?
Because it's
Oh, we
there's,
play TV.
there's a TV
That's
in
terrible. Oh god, that's rubbish.
there. And now you're gonna notice that every single time you're not gonna like that husky anymore either. There you go.
I'm gonna pretend it's a radio.
No.
It looks it looks old. Oh man, that's terrible. It's ruined for me now. No, I'm
Yeah.
going back to my default HUD skin. I have like 3 HUDs or something as well, and I just use the normal one, which feels terrible. Like I own 3 HUDs and I just use the normal one because I'm like I'm not a very individually skilled player, but I get into very high purely based on like
Your HUD skin.
playing really stably.
Oh.
Like playing like really stable stuff. So if I play like distracted or something, I'm like the worst feeder.
Wow. Wow, this cloak of Rubik. Look at that. It's a StarLadder cloak? No, it's not. Look at this cloak.
No,
It's so big.
That's just a random cloak.
But it's so
It's really big. It's really cool though. It's got like a really nice effect on the sort of frayed edges bit. I really like that. I want one now.
big. He's got karaoke items for the rest. Let's take a look at who's playing what, because we already see Crit on the Rubik indeed doing his pooling. He's actually timed it a bit wrong. He was there too late, so he missed 3 of the creeps. He only gets a ranged creep, so he'll have to do it again. We are gonna see on the bottom lane for Mousesports, it will be Wind Ranger, played by Hearts. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm sure we can find out.
I'll
in just
check
a
for
moment.
you.
Yep. Unicorn will play the Clinks, and that will mean the mid lane is going to be played by Exist. He'll play the Dragonite, and on the top lane it will be Ace, playing his Nature's Prophet. And I guess Rise is playing the Wind Ranger then, assuming that there's not going to be a stand-in. And while you check out if that is indeed
he
coming-
has...
Is it Rise?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know, because he's got so many different names. He's got Luminem, Tasty, Tasty Highesty, Dazdy, Fug So Close, which I think is a quote from those Cinderin things. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't actually know who this is. I think this guy's called Tasty or something, and I think he's a stand-in.
That is not Rise, indeed. Yeah, I'll introduce Power Rangers as well, because I might as well. You right? Yes. Cool. Thank you. We're
Yeah,
gonna
go for
see J4 play the Abaddon on bottom lane as Moon. He is indeed supported kind of by Abaddon. And the Crystal Maiden as well was played by FNG, but for now he's being left alone, because this Abaddon is trying to mess up the jungle of Crit. And I think he can actually get this last hit going. Now maybe I think Crit is gonna get it. In the mid lane we have ZXC's Invoker, and then last but not least it is Cheshire Cat by himself, playing the Doom up against that Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and straight out of the bat, an issue you pulled up was the Clink's defensive tri-lanes are really not good. Really, you kind of want to just put him solo on a solo safe lane. The only real good defensive tri-lane hero they have here was Rin Ranger. Rubik does okay in the defensive tri-lane, but not unless he can get level 2 at least, because so he can reduce the damage that the side of PR are getting, and he's not going to be able to do that because Abaddon's going to mess up with his pull here. So this is going to be kind of difficult for Crit here, and the side of Mousesports, their defensive tri-lane versus PR's aggressive tri-lane, nowhere near as close.
Is he still in experience range, J4 that is? I think he might be. Like this is still experience
he's
range, right?
just in XP range, I think. Like,
Because that would also be a big deal. Because Rubik, like you said, he does need his level 2. Well, we'll see. We'll keep a mouse up on Abaddon and see if he gets more than 105 XP and see if he can get himself a bit of a head with that. Crystal Maiden, I mean, she's still jungling, but she's jungling in the Radiant jungle. So that's very aggressive also coming out from Power Rangers. And that means that if the pool is successful for Crit, if he actually gets himself a big creep wave, he might actually get himself, you know, with the, like, FNG is going to make sure that the creep wave of Crit is not going to take more than just 1 or 2 creep camps. And for those 1 or 2 creep camps, J4 is going to be there to take the experience.
Yeah, they're gonna... I really hope this Wind Ranger doesn't actually pull, because that's gonna open up the side of PR to dive either the Clinks or anybody else they want to go for on this. The thing is Mousesports really want to be efficient early on. Like you said, they picked a really greedy lineup. They have They have heroes who really want a lot of farm. Even their supports generally are not the sort of heroes that you want to be walking around with brown boots and a stick 20 minutes into the game. I mean, Rubik in particular is probably one of the most greedy supports in the game. He does pretty much nothing without level 6, and he pretty much builds his entire item build around that. He gets things like Arcane Boots, so he has the mana pool to spam all the different spells he steals, and he gets things like Force Staff and Blink, so he can steal spells and get in the right position to use them as well.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to the next point, because on the side of Power Rangers, I mean, there's nice things to steal, don't get me wrong, but it's not really amazing. And a Rubik, I mean, with his disable being on such a long cooldown, only able to basically use it once in a fight, he has to be, like, he is kind of forced that you have to steal something good, otherwise this Rubik is going to be a bad pick.
Yeah, early on maybe a couple of spells from the Crystal Maiden or something from the Abaddon might be kind of useful.
Yeah.
Later on, pretty much the only thing that he's going to want is Doom and maybe some of Invoker's better spells. Maybe whatever he levels up. Looks like he's going Cross Exhort, so maybe something like the... oh, I forgot the name of it. Deafening Blast. Crosswex Exhort. Deafening Blast would be a pretty nice one for him. A few other of Invoker's spells are pretty good, but some are really terrible on Rubik, like EMP. EMP's like, you steal EMP, you just don't do anything.
You kind of, like, Invoker is good because he has so many spells that work well together. And for Rubik, you can't really count on that. He can maybe get a Sunstrike Telekinesis kind of thing off. That would be kind of sweet if he actually pulls that off. But other than that, he's really dependent on just his own spells. And like, Invoker, it's really difficult to actually steal the right spell from that. Better yet, you actually have a chance to steal Invoke. Well, you're not going to be able to do anything with that one.
I don't think you can steal Invoke.
I think
I'm pretty sure you
was possible
can't.
at some point. Maybe it got changed.
I think, yeah, Rubik cannot steal Invoke. I've seen enough Rubik steals to be like, nah, he's never got Invoke.
He had at one point stolen Invoke. I know it for certain, but that was a while ago, I guess.
Was that like a Dota 1 thing?
No.
Is that an engine limitation? Or
no,
is it
no,
just
it was not Dota 1. I wasn't in that. Oh, we might have some problems here, Wind Ranger. There's not going to be another Frostbite. FNG not fast enough. He's just going to Frostbite a creep if he gets back up again. Looks like J4 still managed to get the experience indeed. Now finds himself crit. There's going to be a new creep. And J4 is indeed going to make sure that there's not going to be a pool up the high ground. So again, crit misses a wave to pool. So they're doing a good job here for sure. Power Rangers, even though they're not getting that much themselves, by messing up the levels of both the Rubik and the Wind Ranger, they're getting actually more than they could hope for. Because, as you mentioned, both crit, level dependent, as well as Wind Ranger, and J4 and Crystal Maiden are just not as level dependent.
Yeah, both of these heroes are heroes that can afford to, and we've seen them work successfully, sitting at really, really low levels throughout entire games. I mean, it's the old joke about Crystal Maiden, practically, isn't it? I mean, Crystal Maiden being at a very, very low level for most of the game is what you were used to seeing. It's not something that's happened as often, but an aggressive tri-lane Crystal Maiden, yeah, it's working out pretty well for them. Unicorn XOXO versus Moon, who's actually essentially solo versus him. They're both solos, essentially, because all the supports have been in the jungle the entire time. Is a really, really interesting skill-based matchup, actually, that I've been seeing, and it looks like the Cliques for the moment has been winning, but he's ran out of regen, which makes things really dangerous for him.
Yeah, last hit-wise, it's only one difference, though. In the meantime, Crit was successful with this pool, so he is now jungling, getting some extra levels on the side, and J4 finds himself up against Wind Ranger, and he now realizes that Crit indeed was successful. So he's gonna take part of that experience. I think he's gonna be able to get it. He actually got level 2 right now as well, so he'll be actually getting a last hit. Hello. Ticks off the clarity. He's got plenty of clarities though, Rubik that is, so he's gonna be okay. In the meantime, Crystal Maiden, next target, doesn't have a frostbite anymore, but might actually have it in just a moment with her aura. Nah, with the wind run, that should be safe. You can't dive that. Oh, actually, you can dive that. What am I saying? Of course he can dive that. He's got a shield. FNG might be in some trouble. Telekinesis, one more hit. That's going to be a kill or return, but it's still first blood going the way of the Crystal Maiden. They just profit teleporting and they want to take down J4 as well. They want to punish this aggressive try. Oh my god, that shield was just in time, but still Ace takes the kill in the end. 2 for 1, but the first blood taken by Power Rangers. I'd say that's worth it, especially because they now force Ace to rotate into the jungle. Yes, he got a kill, which is great, but it also gives Doom free farm on the top lane.
Yeah, this is their kind of ace in the hole though for Mouse. They have a weak tri-lane. It's a very, very greedy tri-lane, but they essentially have a 4-person tri-lane because Ace on the Nature's Prophet, he's always that +1 that could come in there. Nice TP from him. Yeah, Doom's going to farm in the safe lane for the moment, but I don't think it'll be too bad for him. Looks like Cheshire Cat I actually tried to push at the moment. These skeletons are, by the way, actually really, really efficient for pushing. Of all the neutral creeps that you can get, like if you're like Chen or Enchantress, or you know, summon like if you're Doom, these actually do the most DPS for their life.
Unicorn. Looks like he'll get away. A Crystal Maiden cannot get in range for Frostbite. Maybe still can. The vision is still there. The Sunstrike comes out. Unicorn. One more hit, but the dust has worn off. Shackle now comes in. That's going to be latching Crystal Maiden to a tree. The shield that came instantly. Ace still going for this. Unicorn still around, but they don't have the damage to take him down. Not the AoE damage there. Oh, they might see him again though. No, never mind. They're just gonna go for Rise. In the meantime, Invoker goes down in the middle lane. They are still chasing down Ace here on the bottom lane. Ace is trying to eat his way out, but he wasn't successful. He ate the wrong tree. Now he might be able to get away. In comes the Shackle, and Moon cannot get the shield on anymore to let the Shadow... Wow. Moon did not get shielded to let the Shackle go, and J4 still gets the kill anyway with the shield. Crystal Maiden still goes down though. She was too far out. Wind Ranger taking the kill. Unicorn still around even without the regen. And they know he's there. Moon... Unicorn! What the hell, dude? Whoa, that was very close.
There was a Sakuchi up then. I feel like Moon should have gone for it.
Yeah.
It may have got him killed, but there was only a level 2 Shackle around there. I feel like he should have gone for that. Maybe just, you know, just Sakuchi in and just randomly run around the tower. Maybe you'll pick him off. But I'm surprised Unicorn went back in there because he was really low the entire time. But yeah, in the meantime, they did manage to pick off a kill in the middle lane. Exists, got the help of Crit for that little gank there. Invoker, relatively gankable. You know, maybe if he's got Wex, he can escape, and if he's got more points in Quas, he can maybe regen up and just sort of saunter on out of there. But otherwise, he does go down to the Dragon Knight, so that's pretty important for him, because obviously DK wasn't doing great in the matchup, not doing badly either, but now things are evening up a little bit for the two of them.
Yeah, we actually have got Crystal Maiden rotating middle. It's nighttime, so this is the perfect time to gank. Exists. He has an empty bottle. His treads are not yet there, so momentum-wise, this could be the time. He is already harassed a bit. They just need to get the Cold Snap in, and so far, there they go. They can take this. The Sunstrike actually comes out. There comes the Cold Snap. Might be a bit too late, but the Frostbite still comes out. It should still be enough damage coming in, especially with J4 coming in to help. And J4 actually takes the last hit. Crystal Maiden instantly rotating out. Ace not seeing him, so he'll not go for that Crystal Maiden. And he gets himself out safe, and Ace rotating only to get the experience in the middle lane while the Dragon Knight is dead.
Yeah, and these little fights that Mouse are making happen here, things are going pretty well for them. One big issue for them, though, is Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat's been left pretty much alone. Nature's Prophet's come up here a few times, but he has Scorched Earth as well as a bottle, so Nature's Prophet can't really pressure him. He has more than enough regen to deal with this. He's just going to straight up farm all day long here. He has gone for straight phase boots so far, so maybe not going full GPM style with a Hand of Midas, but he's making a fair bit of cash.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting helped by the Devourer as well. He didn't go for Midas, which is something I'm grateful for. Does mean that he might be looking to put himself in fights a bit earlier than you'd normally see him. We'll see how fast he'll try to make something happen. We have a haste run up. J4, will you take it? No? Yes. J4 level 4 right now. I mean, that's the downside of those rotating supports. Level 4 on both Crystal Maiden and J4. But on the upside, they're also able to slow down the supports of Mousesports. And even though the Rubik still managed to get level 5.5, Wind Ranger is still level 3. That means that the Shackle duration is still so very low. He doesn't get the Shackle off on J4, but he's not too worried. Oh, Telekinesis still coming out. The Fateful, the Shield! It's not going to be enough, especially not with the Nature's Prophet ultimate coming out. The bugs still hit upon those two supports. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, we do have the Kalinks able to pick off the Weaver, and Crystal Maiden still dies as well, because everybody is here now on the bottom lane for Mousesports. The dive of the Weaver did not go well. They needed J4 there, and he just wasn't able to get there in time because of that Shackle. I guess it does still last long enough, even at level 2. But that was a great fight for Mousesports.
Yeah, this is going actually surprisingly well for Mousesports, despite the fact they picked a really greedy lineup. Heroes like Nature's Prophet, like Clinks, they need that early farm for themselves. Well, Nature's Prophet not so much, but he can't do anything other than farm early on and maybe TP to people and be like, look at me hit with my staff. He does no damage though. But Exist TP'd in really well and was able to secure that kill on Moon.
Oh, Moon in some trouble. Still able to pick up the Wind Ranger though. He's gonna actually chase down Crit right here. He can't stop him from teleporting, but perhaps he does enough damage? No, he does not. Exist looking for Moon. He is still gonna have his Dragon Tail should someone come close to him, but he is gonna make it out alive in the end. It's only 1 for a 1 or 1 for 2. ZXC dies. Clinks with the kill. Unicorn. I mean, he's constantly been so low on health, but he just doesn't move back. He has got a Soul Ring, which is great and all, but it's interesting that he just doesn't move back. Doom does take a tower though, which is great. That's going to be something that Power Rangers definitely needs, because otherwise they just lose their advantage that they're getting on the Doom, because it is Mousesports that's fighting with all 5, while Power Rangers is just fighting with, well, with 3 just now on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and this Soul Ring on the on Unicorn here looks like he wants to go greedy. Think he might be picking up Midas right now. Yeah, he's picking up a Gloves of Haste, so actually no, this is going to be treads for him. So maybe not quite so greedy. Whenever I see this build, I actually just like can't get out of my head all the really silly things that EE's fans say, like EE Sama please and all that sort of stuff, but maybe Unicorn's adapting it for himself as well.
Could be. We do have another Hand of Midas though, even though Klings doesn't have one. We have got one on Invoker. That's of course needed, and also one on Ace, even though that thing didn't really move out, but Ace has got his Hand of Midas ready as well. We actually have got a tower picked up. Klink's of course able to do that. Exist not even needed. The fortification still came out, but that was too late. That was when the tower was already down, so that was a bit of an awkward fortification there, a bit wasted by Power Rangers, as Cheshire Cat just made his first rotation. And I was saying that I was happy that he wasn't gonna go for a Hand of Midas, but he actually still went for a Hand of Midas. So we've got ourselves quite a few on the board, with 2 on each side at the moment. Well, not yet 2 on each side. One on the side of Mousesports, but not one on, and 2 on the side of Power Rangers. Wow, I noticed that it starts to get late, like 5th game to cast. It's noticeable.
Yeah, you start missing things and like not understanding really obvious things like that people are doing.
That courier was very close to being picked up. Unicorn just revealed his position because of that though, and with the Centaur there, maybe he can get himself a Crystal Maiden, but Crystal Maiden is going to try to go for him. One more hit, boom! Crystal Maiden doesn't get him with a Sunstrike! Oh my god, that Sunstrike got him. ZXC with the global kill. Gets the experience, of course, for that as well, because it was a Sunstrike kill. In the meantime, Rubik goes down to the Doom, close to a tier 2 tower, as it looks like the Wind Ranger gets himself out alive, but barely. Power Shot will still hit upon Cheshire Cat, but it doesn't really matter. Exist. Yeah, he's right to not chase that, because he would have ran into 5 heroes of Power Rangers. 5, all 5 bottom lane.
I was gonna say, at one point then, he looked like he really just didn't care, like he was just fed up. He's like, nope, I'm gonna go fight you anyway. I don't care what you do, because he was running in, and there were 5 heroes on the bottom lane for the side of PR, so that could have been really, really bad for him. Like you say, we have got Cheshire Cat. He has gone back for this Hand of Midas. I'm not too like unhappy about this. I think any more farming items though on Doom is just kind of excessive. You get to the point where you're selling them 20 minutes into the game, and you're like, oh, I guess maybe this was a bit overkill. Especially because the hero doesn't actually scale that well as far as DPS is concerned. Looks like on the top lane they're going to go on Moon, but yeah, Crit did not manage to get in range to lift him up there, and Moon just easily scuttles away.
Yeah, and the Shackle on the Invoker mid lane didn't pay off either. We've got 4 heroes here of Power Rangers, because Moon might be defending his tier 1 top. But it looks like, oh, nice deny coming out from Exist. It looks like Power Rangers just went for 4 people mid to try and take a tier 1 and ended up just getting the tower tonight. In comes the smoke coming out from Power Rangers. They look to defend their tier 1 top. They are going to find some people. So Cheshire Cat's going to try to doom someone, but it looks like they are all gone. Unicorn, of course, invisible. Crit hiding as well. Should be able to teleport out just fine if he is choosing to. And they still find Unicorn. Oh, why not? The Sentry Ward is placed. Sunstrike with the last hit again. Exists, or at least Crit rather, teleporting himself out indeed. And that's 5 heroes stop from Power Rangers. Looks like they're done playing nice and they just decided to just go 5-man and Deathball.
Yeah, they don't have the ideal lineup for it, but they do have a really, really hard lineup to stop, especially for Mouse, who are still trying to build up a few core items on their Windrunner, who's trying to finish off a mech. Crit doesn't really have anything at all on his. I was going to say, Unicorn really needs to stop being so greedy this game. He's almost got himself killed several times. He has got himself killed twice. Just by being a little bit greedy there. There was no reason for him not to just run back home, but he was like, Now I want to go and death pact one of the creeps in here, or maybe jungle, or maybe search for somebody, whilst I don't have enough health and we don't know where the entire side of PR are, so gives off a kill.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat just missed it an eye on the tier 2 tower, so that's going to be a tower destroyed by the creeps of Mousesports. They're going to be very happy with that. They just, I mean, there's 3 towers down on the side of Power Rangers and also 3 towers down on the side of Mousesports. I mean, it's even. But with this tier 2 tower down and with the tier 1 on the top lane on the side of Power Rangers already being so very low, Mousesports have got themselves an edge, especially since they already denied their tier 1 middle. And yeah, I mean, maybe they can... Oh, crit. I think he's dead. Sunstrike comes out. One more hit. Oh my god, the Shikushi. That's gonna be him living. I was never worried. I swear.
Really nice Sakuchi, and that, kids, is also why you buy a magic stick. That item technically has like the most cost efficiency as long as you keep on using it like throughout the game that any item can have, because it's pretty much infinite. It's just amazing, especially early on like this, where you 15 HP really does make the difference there.
Yeah, we've got like Ace going for a build that we haven't, or that I haven't seen in a while. No Necronomicon for his Nature's Prophet, but he went for old school Shadowblade. He's actually going to find the Crystal Maiden there with the Dragon Tail coming out of Exist. Should be a kill going the way of the Nature's Prophet. He actually let his ultimate go through as well, just in case. But he's just going to use it to perhaps push out a bit. He's actually taking the Treants with him to the forest, the jungle. In the meantime, on the top lane, the pressure is still on. Moon is hanging around as well as J4. The Shackle actually lets up on Moon. Shield comes out instantly though, and the telekinesis. Maybe it's gonna be enough. Crit also coming through, but there's a Sentry Ward down. They know where he is. He is gonna be making it out alive. The Sunstrike might be catching him. Nope, he stopped moving. Shackle, J4, not latching to Moon. Dragon Tail Exist is looking forward. Wants to find that guy. Wants to find that guy on the horse. In comes Ace with the Sprout. Damn, there is the shield, and that means that they're indeed. Dragon Tail can go on, but he still has his burrow time. Crit's gonna be the one in trouble. He might actually die. The Sentry Ward goes down. No escape anymore. Still has a shield put up on himself, which he stole from J4. Another Dragon Tail as Ace makes it out alive. J4 is the second one to die. His Crystal Maiden already got picked up. Moon will still be able to pick up Crit. He time lapses. Is it gonna be enough? He runs very fast. It looks like he'll be able to make it out alive, and that's gonna be a decent trade, I guess. I mean, it's still 2 supports for 1 support. But it is a Rubik's support that was actually doing a bit too well, if you ask me, on the side of Mousesports, considering the way that Power Ranger supports were doing. And, well, I guess with the tower going the way of Mousesports, that is going to make the trade very favorable for Mousesports after all.
Yeah, things are going really, really smoothly in the way of Mousesports' way here. They've picked a pretty reliable lineup here. They got DK, they've got Nature's Prophet, both of these heroes who... you know, they don't exactly put in really big plays or anything like that, but they just rely on their natural skill set as being really, really powerful. Nature's Prophet, yeah, you said he's gone back for this sort of old, what we've been more used to seeing, which was the Hand of Midas, Shadowblade. Really, really greedy, but an excellent split pusher. And, well, apparently doesn't... It also gives him some good DPS potential in the mid game too. Which is helpful, given Nature's Prophet doesn't actually have any other skills.
Oh, Unicorn.
Other than Sprout.
Oh, the stomp came out from Cheshire Cat. He doesn't hit it, but the Sunstrike will. And this is... I like this about Sunstrike kills. Because even though, I mean, Cheshire Cat is of course the only one that's in range, because Invoker got the last hit, he actually shares experience. So, I mean, Invoker is a hero that needs to be getting ahead, as Crystal Maiden still gets picked up there. With the help of his own Crystal Nova coming out from the Rubik. But Invoker, I mean, he's one of those heroes that needs experience. That's why he builds himself a Midas. J4, Trouble, Dragon Tail, he has his borrowed time. Might be enough for him to keep himself up. In comes CXC as well, and he force-halves J4 out. It might be enough. Deafening Blast coming out as well. And indeed, it is going to be enough unless Ace gets himself a Sprout up, which might just be the case. Yes, it is the case. His shield instantly, though, and it's going to be Cheshire Cat that came in from the side, but they realize that. Going to try and take him down. The telekinesis, the shackle, it's all there. The shield's going to help Cheshire Cat, though, and he looks for Exist. With that Cold Snap, Mechanism is not going to be enough to keep him up. Abaddon with the last hit, even though Cheshire Cat did most of that damage. Nice rotation coming in from Cheshire Cat, and, I mean... Things are looking okay again for Power Rangers. They might be losing ground in terms of towers, and towers are getting denied left and right, but this Doom is definitely gonna pull his weight, I think.
Yeah, he was taking literally no damage in that fight. They were all hitting on him. He was getting the shield from J4, he was getting the Mist Coil. He's not got great armor values, but he's got tons of HP at this point. with a drum. He has a Shadow Blade as well. This is really, really strong for him for initiating. Ace, what are you doing here? Run away. Don't go near them, dude. They're scary.
Ooh, J4 is in some trouble. His borrow time is on cooldown. They know that. One more hit needed from Unicorn. Oh, nice frostbite, J4. Don't be showing yourself. Oh, he denies himself just in case. Very nicely done. Aegis in the meantime taken by Moon. They're looking for Unicorn. He's still walking around with the sentry ward there, but the cold snap coming out, and he's out of range again now. And that's going to be everybody of Mousesports backing off. And the only one that died was the one that denied himself. And the Aegis going to Power Rangers. So I'd say that's a good result for Power Rangers. Wouldn't call it a fight. It's a good result.
Yeah, that's pretty alright for them. They managed to sneak in there. They take that out. Abaddon at this point really isn't worth much anyway. He's been spending, it seems, the most of his gold on sentry wards because pretty much every time I've seen a fight, there's been a sentry ward down, even to the point where Rubik with Sakuchi was in danger from it, just because there happened to be a sentry there. Not exactly the thing that you normally place sentries for. Like, oh yeah, we're going to catch this invis Rubik out. How often does that come up?
Not very often indeed, as we do have a Doom coming out on the Nature's Prophet. Cheshire Cat was able to take a solo kill there. And that just sets the tone, because the Nature's Prophet is the highest farmed hero on the map on the side of Mousesports, so that's a very good kill for Power Rangers to get. Overall, they do have a good chance of fighting though. That Dragon Knight has got his BKB, hasn't used it yet. And Unicorn is getting closer to his own BKB. Actually, I think he might have had it complete. Let's take a look. Yep, the courier has it. So that's 2 BKBs up on the set of Mousesports. And they're looking pretty good in a way of having a couple of cores. Unicorn has to be careful here, though, because J4, FNG, and as well as ZXC are close by. And they're actually looking for Exist. In comes the Dragon Tail. Shield comes out straight away. Sunstrike actually still hits upon crit, and he might actually go down. It is first the Crystal Maiden that drops, so ZXC is going to be the one to maybe go down afterwards, but he force-stops himself forward. The stun up on J4, he still has his borrow time, will pop it. Stolen, actually. That's going to be shield stolen. It will be the Weaver that kills off the Rubik in the end. Coming in from the side, now he goes up on Exist. His BKB still already on cooldown. Nature's Prophet gets picked up. That's going to be a double kill for Moon with the Cheshire Cat picking up Unicorn. That's 4 dead for just 1 solo Crystal Maiden. ZXC and J4 both dropping really low, but not enough to take a kill off from. And the only one that survives is the one that wasn't there. It is the Wind Ranger. Her mechanism could have definitely been used in that fight.
Yeah, she could have been really useful there, but I feel like PR's Cheshire Cat here on the Doom is really, really making a difference in these fights. He's actually going to go AC next, and this is going to be really powerful for him. Give him a lot of extra attack speed because he's not got bad damage at all. At this point, he really, really wants an Alpha Wolf creep, but he's still doing some pretty good damage here, and with his auras and such, they're able to push down some towers, so this is pretty nice for the side of PR. Really coming back into this. It's a very even game so far, but PR really out-farming the side of Mouse. Their supports on PR are really struggling, but their cores doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, and with that tower, it makes the towers even, and actually the biggest difference that we see after this tower is that the 3 cores of Power Rangers are higher than the 3 cores of Mousesports. So that's going to be very good for Power Rangers indeed, and if they can keep this kind of pressure going, I mean, they haven't really been going for 5-man fights really all too much. They've been rotating and then being with 5, fair enough, but that's all come after Mousesports was the one to initiate. And we'll see if Mousesports continues to initiate, considering the way things are going. And the courier actually got sniped up by Moon before he was able to bring the recipe of the BKB to Unicorn, so he still doesn't have it, and he won't have it for another full minute. So that's going to help Power Rangers as well. And I mean, right now, Power Rangers, they've got the reins in their hands, to be honest.
Yeah, the real struggle for Mouse right now is the fact that 2 of their good DPS dealers during the mid-game, which is Exist and Clinks, are both going straight BKBs because they really, really need them this game. There's a lot of very powerful spells on the side of PR, and frankly, ZXC on the Invoker is enough to make people think, oh, maybe we should get BKB, because that one hero has so many spells. And really, the problem with this is you really don't want to go straight BKB. Exist has literally got nothing else other than treads. He picked up a belt of giant strength afterwards, which I don't only imagine is going to be a basher for the Dragon White, which is not a bad item at all. But it's really not the major mid-game DPS item you like. Oh yeah, it looks like it is going to be that.
Or maybe
even a halberd.
It's pretty
if it is a halberd, I think it's too defensive though this game. He might actually get to a point where he's, you know, basically tickling the side of PR.
Oh, wow. That's a Doom up a Unicorn. I was gonna say, like, Unicorn is the one to do the damage in this game. Sunstrike is still gonna come off, and that's gonna be taking the last hit, so no denying coming, but the Dragon Tail up on the Doom. The Shackle as well, but do they have the damage to take him down? I doubt it, and from the side, in comes the Cavalry, in comes J4, FNG, ZXC, they're all looking for it, and that's gonna be enough to let the most of Mousesports back off. Crit's still able to blink himself away. Where is this last hit going to? But Crit was able to blink himself away. He has got that blink dagger, so this is a rich support for sure, but he's not able to take on anybody of Power Rangers right now, and it looks like he is gonna need to soon, or they're gonna need to soon, because otherwise their tier 2 tower is gonna be dust.
Yeah, and it really feels for me like the issue right now is how this DK is transitioned. He didn't do too badly in the laning stage. It was pretty even up with the Invoker, but since then he's gone for a BKB. He's now picked up a Sanj. Neither of these are major damage items. He's getting around. He's really not getting enough damage from these sort of items. I think, honestly, in this game, it's so dangerous to go for it, but I feel like as soon as your plans started falling apart for the side of Mouse, and they started realizing that this Doom has so much HP, we really needed a Shadow Blade or something. Something to help cut through the Doom, because right now he's sitting up at almost 2k HP and 54% physical resistance, so not bad at all. Not
bad at all, indeed. And I mean, on the other side, Power Rangers, they've got that Scythe of Ice, they've got the Weaver, almost, well, I think he's ready with his Desolator.
Oh, Unicorn. Bottom lane, this is going to be really bad if he gets
Doom comes out again. I think that's going to be a kill. Sunstrike isn't going to hit this time, so that's, you know, something. But I don't think it matters. One level death would do the job. I mean, he doesn't even need to do the level death. That's gonna be the kill right there. Cheshire Cat dominating 4-0-6. He hasn't died yet. This entire game, he's not died. Well, there have been kills happening back and forth. Well, right now, I mean, with the Klings, like I could have thought maybe he went for an Orchid and he's gonna be able to do some damage there, but that's not the case. And actually, they hex up the Wind Ranger. They go for crit first, though. The Cold Snap is there. The damage not entirely there. Not with the mechanism coming out. The buyback of the Klings is there as well, and that should be Power Rangers backing off. Oh, they go for this though. They go for ZXC, but they can't find anybody just yet, or perhaps they can. A Deafening Blast. Prophet gets the kill there in the end, with the Shadow Blade damage helping out. Wind Ranger still dies because Weaver's still wrecking havoc on the backside. He is now going to be moving on to Exist, whose BKB has run out. J4 have still died, but a Unicorn, he just bought back and he dies again. Triple kill for him, looking for an ultra kill. Can he find Ace? He's going to get some help from a Crystal Main. The Sentry Ward goes down. They know they can get the Frostbite and they just need to get the Vision. The Nova isn't there. They won't be able to get an ultra kill there. Not at all. Moon, he'll be happy with 3 kills though. He was just at the backside picking up those supports. Well, Exist tried to do what he can, but he just didn't have enough damage to do as much as Moon was doing at the back of the fight. And in the meantime, Cheshire Cat wasn't even in that fight and he was pushing bottom.
Yeah, and 3 maybe 4 people are going to go onto him here at the bottom lane. They have the detection, but they just can't scratch him.
No, they needed a dust if they wanted to try and have a chance. And they don't even have that. Look at this speed! He's like walking with the haste room right now with that Scorched Earth and Drums and Boots of Travel and Shadow Blade. Everything happened. In the meantime, Moon, Crit's gonna get sunstruck to death. Moon not even getting the last hit for that. Oh my god. Did you see that damage?
That was some pretty sick deeps right there. Moon is now getting to a point where, despite not a perfect laning stage for him, he's picked up a Desolator and a Lincoln Sphere in a time where nobody on the side of Mouse really has much in the way of survivability. DK's pretty much the exception to that rule, but everybody else is just free money for him.
Yeah, that was just disgusting, kinda. In the meantime, J4's almost 4-staff ready. I mean, Power Rangers, their supports are not as rich yet as the Rubik, as Nature's Prophet goes down in the bottom lane. Cheshire Cat, I mean, he's been by himself for a long time, and I'm kind of like, I'm thinking, Power Rangers, why don't you not smoke up and try to gank? Because Power Rangers is kind of spread out, at least Cheshire Cat is normally, not in range of his teammate.
I feel like with the items that they have, they just don't seem concerned about smoking up and ganking. And Unicorn, he's not gonna have. He might have the skeleton walk. Oh, he walked into a sentry. They knew that was there as well.
Yeah. Oh, they could have guessed anyways. Moon with another kill, godlike right now. He actually picked himself up an Eagle Song and started the Butterfly is there. Maybe they can get themselves Cheshire Cat, but he already left. He's already with his boots of travel, went to the top lane, so he's ready to start pushing there. And the pings still come out, but, you know, they know it's an illusion right now.
Yeah, and as you were talking about, you know, they could smoke gank up, but the thing is, nobody on Mouse can actually really contest Cheshire Cat right now. And the format, the other 4 people from the side of PR, they have things like Weaver, they have their Abaddon, so it's really, really hard to kill off any particular hero they try to go on. Invoker obviously adds a ton of CC to their lineup, a ton of extra lockdown and disables. And because of that, Mousesports really, really struggle to deal with PR, even 5v4 at this point, especially with the fact that they're behind on items. They have BKBs on 2 of their main damage dealers, but they don't have any other items. They had to go straight BKBs, so they're really struggling, I feel. I feel like they need a Desolator this game, just because of how strong this Doom is. He's now picking up a Reaver. If this is a heart, Cheshire Cat might actually just walk in the enemy base. He might A-click. He might A-click the enemy base and win.
Well, they do need a Desolator, and they need one up on Ace, because it will also increase his split push potential, and they kind of need that. And, I mean, they're not going to fight Power Rangers head-on anymore. It's too late for that. So the only way that they could do this is by split pushing and keeping Power Rangers busy. And split pushing, of course, is going to be done by the Nature's Prophet. He does have his level 3 Necronomicon, but it's time for Desolator to help just with the push a bit. And apparently, did Crystal Mane just write OP somewhere? Or did he just draw circles? I guess he's just drawing circles and it looks like OP.
I guess he's just drawing circles. I don't really... FNG, I mean, he's got 7 deaths. Maybe he's just a bit fed up. It's always really horrible to be in that sort of situation. Like a 5-position support, your team's winning.
Oh,
but you
he
just
might
feel
just
like
die
dead
again.
weight.
He's gonna be caught out. In the meantime, it's Unicorn that gets a Doom up on him. Looks like that's gonna be a trade. Unicorn might have got a Deny in going. Yeah, nice Deny coming out from the Rubik. And now Cheshire Cat locked in the Sprout, shackled as well. And oh my god, I timed out from the server. I'm gonna reconnect right now. Our telekinesis there as well, but the shield comes out, so it doesn't really matter, though the shackle still shows. It will be a tower dead. Exist will try to go for this, but it's just too much. He turns on his BKB, but it's physical damage that's hurting him. He will be forced to back off. BKB or no, the shackle is buying him some time, but the time lapse instantly coming out. Moon is gonna go for Ace first, looking for Exist after. We'll get that one as well, or will he not? Yes, he will. That evasion is not gonna stop him from getting kills. It will be the Wind Ranger to be the last one to die here. The buybacks are happening though, and that might be something that Unicorn or the Mousesports can build on to buy. To,
I don't think they can stop them.
But oh, they're getting the Invoker. Great for them. Unicorn though, I mean, look at this. Moon, he's just bashing at him. BKB or not, Exist will be back in this as well. Unicorn already just fell back. Exist will try to make it back to base. He doesn't have a Dragon Form, he doesn't have a BKB, but he will be able to walk back to base. Or perhaps he won't. Perhaps he won't. Moon goes for Exist now. His, yeah. It's gonna be double kill. He time lapses out again because it's just that short of a cooldown. He gets Dragon Tilled, but he doesn't care. Goes for Exist. He'll make it back to base. It is still 3 dead again. The telekinesis is gonna put him into the fountain, and that might be the thing that does him in. Yes, but it's only just the Aegis, so good luck with that. In the meantime, the Rex are down. Cheshire Cat's already bashing on a tier 3 bottom, and they can just continue going with this.
Yeah, that was a really, really bad fight for them. The side of Mousesports don't have any damage. I mean, their only major damage dealer at this point you would expect is maybe the Clinks, but he's just sitting on a BKB. He's really not managed to get the farm they needed. DK, of course, he's a relatively good damage dealer with a few items, but he's had to go very, very defensive. Both Cheshire Cat and Moon are now at the point where nobody can stop them. He's got a full butterfly, by the way.
Yeah, maybe they can still get Cheshire Cat, but Moon is already in this. He's gonna try to snipe up some people. Doom will still die, but Doom also got the Rubik with that Doom up on him. Unicorn in the meantime. The Centaur is there, the Meteor will fall, but the mechanism keeps Unicorn up, and Moon is now the one stuck in the Sprout. He'll try to go for Exist, but everybody is bashing on him. They might actually be able to get him with the Dragon 2 coming out. He doesn't have a time lapse this time. He will be able to get the kill still up on Ace though, and with the help of J4, he'll keep himself up, and he'll try to go for more. He'll try to find some more. Dragonite's gonna be the next one. Moon already chasing him down. The Shackle's not gonna left because of that Lincoln Spear, and with the Geminite attack, he'll get himself that kill, and now they'll get Exist as well, and that's gonna be the GG. Power Rangers, after a bit of a shaky start, just dominating Mousesports in this game. Power Rangers have had a great day, as a lot of pings are coming out, but it will be Power Rangers that get the points. Mousesports, not so much.
Yeah, Mousesports, they're just really not picking up the lineups they'd done really well with, which had been a lot more aggressive. Looks like everybody on the side of PR is picking. They seem pretty happy with this game. They've definitely had a really, really good game here. Maybe one of those underdog teams that you might even see going into the playoffs. Don't know.
Well, they might be. They're not doing as well though. The start of the season for Power Rangers wasn't that great, so they've got themselves 6 losses already. Power Rangers.
Well, that's because they were playing against easy to beat teams rather than the hardest to beat teams, which, as we know,
really have 6 deaths,
is PR's
6
forte.
kills, 6 losses rather.
That's true, but I don't know. I want PR to go through. Maybe they'll get through in something else.
Hey,
There's some other tournaments for them.
Can we now, like, Power Rangers are the giant slayers? Is Mousesports now a giant? By being beaten by Power Rangers?
Mousesports are like a short giant. But Power Rangers are giant. I don't know about that. Because I'm pretty confident that with the way PR perform against easier teams, that, like, I've got a few friends who could beat them. Because they have real issues versus easier teams. Going up against big teams, though, they'll crush them. Like, they'll do it.
Yeah, that is true. Well, Mousesports, they'll have to cope this loss. We'll see 6 games, by the way, tomorrow, just to give a heads up. It's looking like a full day. We're going to start off with NextKZ versus Virtus.pro, NextKZ versus Na'Vi, Na'Vi versus Virtus.pro, so that's a bit of a try-some going on right there. Sigma versus the Retry, Na'Vi again, this time versus QPad, and Alliance versus Flipside Russia. So 6 games tomorrow, make sure you tune in then. And of course, this was our last game today, otherwise I wouldn't say what's gonna happen tomorrow. So thank you for co-casting, G-Advance, I enjoyed it. Do you have any last shoutouts or plugins, or where can people find you normally, etc.?
You can generally find me at twitch.tv/setmygibs. You can also go to my Twitter at JossWilkinson1. I think I'm actually going to go maybe stream some pubs or something. I haven't played any ranked yet, and I'm like really, really worried about it. So maybe I'll publicly humiliate myself.
I've got a win and a loss, but the loss that I had was like I normally can't say that it was not because of me, but this one was not because of me.
I like how you admit that. I actually had it. I did play one ranked game with a friend, so it was one of the like group ranked games.
Yeah.
And I was so sad that game. I played Lion, had by far the highest kill involvement. I was like 8-3 in like 30 or something. Like, I did everything for my team. Nope. My team doesn't know how to kill the enemy base. So I'm pretty sad about that one.
Yeah, I was, like, in the other game, I was forced to go Crystal Maiden offlane, and I owned that offlane. I actually got kills. But no.
You got kills as a CM offlane?
Yes! I did also give First Blood, but afterwards I got kills. Was good. But, yeah. It was still our bottom lane fed. Our middle lane kinda... Well, started out okay-ish, but then fed. It was,
yeah.
difficult. And I mean, Crystal Maiden offlane is just not made for it. And I still had to buy all the wards because our Rubik didn't buy it.
That's pretty awesome. That sounds like a fun game. But yeah, I think I'm going to go... I haven't, like, streamed any pubs for a long time, so I think I'm going to go play with my friends. Probably lose a lot. Some of my friends are pretty bad.
Well, people...
You'd be pretty upset to play with some of my friends.
You should go to twitch.tv/setmygibs. That's where you should be heading. Or you can also stick around, or at least open it in a different tab, so you can watch some commercials here. And you can, of course, follow me on Twitter, on @ShiverGaming. Make sure you do that. Or follow me on any channel that you want to, which is the same name on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, all under the name of Shiver Gaming. So do that. And tune back in tomorrow. It will be starting an hour earlier, so that's 1600 CET time. And I'm really happy that today I found out that it was 2000. Was it 2000? Which was it?
I think it's 2000. I think it's easier to pronounce.
Okay, 2000. I now know that one. But it starts at 1600, so make sure you tune in then, not 2000, because 2000 will be only the starting time of Na'Vi versus QPad, and I think that's going to be a fairly one-sided game, though if Na'Vi plays the same way they did today, it might actually be an even game. Oh my god, I just burned people. I normally don't do that. It's a sign. It's a sign that it's getting late. That's all I have to say. Well, let's just jump ourselves out of this game. Thank you for watching, and actually I'll be right back to say the same thing over again, but then to your face, because it might be more compelling. We'll be right back.